I'm Margaret in Windsor, and I was kidnapped and brought to Moulton, Alabama. I have to say that because I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace, or you won't know where I'm going on with this. I was kidnapped in 41 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married a Childers. Both twins were dead. Peggy and Carl, they were killed by their mother, Lina, and it was a pigsty there. And I grew up so abused, and in 76, I started writing a medical malpractice book. I had worked for doctors, and I was writing about mind control because I found out, well, there's some other things involved too, but I can't put all of this on videos. It involved a doctor I worked for, a cardiovascular, and I found out that he had put a chip in a heart bypass, like you put chips in root canals in your teeth, and they're really chips that uh, can, you're a victim of mind control. Oh, they don't even have to do that now. They can, since I wrote that book, they can mass mind control armies nowadays, and even agencies, corporations, and etc. That aren't even government agencies supposedly use it. And I will say this real quick too, just as a way of backup. I haven't lied about anybody's name, time, any of it. But when I was trying to get some things done, and this was in 1980 after just prior to the antifreeze being put in me, I'd done the medical malpractice book, had a letter from the FBI June the 23rd of 79, had the antifreeze put in me April Fool Day of 80, so this is mid-March, maybe. Yeah, 1st of March, excuse me. I was trying to leave Atlanta and go out to my sister-in-law's. And come find out, I got out there, and with all the money I had, got out there, and I just confirmed it before I left that it was okay to come out there and look for a job, and I was going to bring my sons out there to get away from all. I thought it was because I did the book and all this. I found out later my kidnapping in 83 and who my sons are and me and all that. But at the time I didn't know, but I was like, I called, and later I worked for the district attorney after I had the antifreeze put in me from about mid-May of 80, okay, to the end of, about the middle of December or the 1st of December, and that's when John Lennon was killed, and it was mind control. Mark David Chapman was programmed to kill him. And you get the names Mark David, my father's name's David, Edward the Eighth. Mark is my son's name, this heir after me. And Chapman is the letter C from Childers. Of course, my son's name is really Windsor, but I didn't know all this at the time. But anyway, and then I worked for later, in 80 I worked for, after I had the antifreeze put in me and I'm taken back across state line to Huntsville by this woman, Dempsey, that killed her twins and abused me. I was living in that family and having to use the name Peggy Dempsey. I married Childers. She illegally, I was in a hell of a shape to have antifreeze put in you. I should have died. But instead I was taken by her. I was shoved in a car, and it was sick, all that was done to me. And I finally got the tox screen done. I had gone, on April Fool's Day, I had gone to West Paces Ferry emergency room. And because I knew that Lois Pearson, I'd spent the night there trying to get away from the harassment and stuff. And she's the one that helped put it and gave access to them to put it in me. And I went to see what they had given me and get a tox done so it could be neutralized. Well, that's not what happened. That was a hell that ensued, and then I'm across the state line illegally. And then the odd thing was, in that condition, if anybody's ever had that put in them, they know what I'm talking about, and they didn't die. I passed a background check by the sheriff's department, and then I started working. It's required by the district attorney, Simpson. So you're getting into crypt, like Simpson was supposed to marry my father, Edward the Eighth, or David, they called him. And I was living at Warren House Apartments during that time that I'd been illegally transported back. And Warren Commission, of course, is associated with the Kennedy cover-up. Mind control was used in that in programming to shoot, but also Kennedy was part of my kidnapping. His father was ambassador to England during that time, and they're the ones that probably flew me to Cortland Air Base and dropped me off in this hellhole. Now then, I'm just giving you a part of that, and I want to get back, though, to okay. During going the 1st of March, during the trip trying to go out to my sister-in-law was out in Texas. She was in Abilene then. Laura Childers, I'll go ahead and say it. I haven't lied about anything. And I got out there with all the money I had and called her and said, well, I'm here. And I just called her before I left. And, well, you can't come. And I was turned around when I got back to Marietta, Georgia. My apartment, they had let my ex-husband have my apartment. Come find out the FBI probably run it because I know they did. The manager told me, she said that it was her nephew or her uncle was in charge of the Patty Hearst. Well, Patty Hearst was Hearst Castle, Randolph Hearst, and you get into the Illuminati and the people that help orchestrate and take down my father and my kidnapping and covering up what's been done to me. But anyway, my apartment was, I won't even get into that. It was gone, and I was given antifreeze when I got back and all that. But I talked with, long story getting to that, but this is really his name, Dutch Holland. While I was in Huntsville, I called him and come find out he had worked for the district attorney where I worked a few months later. And he said to me when I talked to him on the phone, he said one of his clients had called him, a woman, and she was in a divorce custody and things and was hiring him. And he said mind control was used there. Next thing, she got it over the phone, and she committed suicide. Okay? So there's a long list where you can't ignore it if it's ever put out before the public totally. So I guess that's all, except I wanted to get this in, and I'm going to mention her name because she didn't do anything wrong, and then you can get into what was done to me because of who I am. Himon Miller was a Jewish doctor, psychiatrist in Huntsville. 62, his wife was a German Jew. He was from New York. But anyway, her name's Peggy Ferguson, and stop and think about the Ferguson, okay, because there's a lot in this that the public doesn't want to admit that's gone on and could have been stopped if somebody had tried to help. But Peggy Ferguson Lauderdale came to me. She was a friend I'd met through my husband at work, his friend at work. And she come in one day and she said to me, and I know she was telling the truth, and it gets on to later me writing in the book, writing the medical malpractice book. But she said to me, she said, she went to Himon Miller. She said, did Himon Miller ever do this to you? Because I'd gone there, I thought I was just having a little depression. I didn't know it was all laid out, and that I was a monarch and the Jewish connection and all that. So I went to him, and I've tried to put that on other videos. But she said to me, did he ever do this to you? She said, I went in, well, she was a patient of his later, a few times. And she said, did he ever tell you to look at the vent and lay your head over on his shoulder? And the kicker in it is 22 minutes later, it's supposed to be an hour. The doctor said, if he's a doctor, that's a doctor, Himon Miller, psychiatrist. The hour's up. She said, I know that he raped me. And she told the truth. I don't know what happened to her, and I hope that, I have a feeling if all this is ever told, it's going to come out anyway. I certainly hope so. She didn't do anything wrong. and neither did I. And the mess that happened to me and my sons, and